Hello, fellow traders. Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Monday, September the 16th. The year's 2019. Let's talk trading. Advanced Wick zones. There's a few traders out there, some traders new to my methods, and they've been having some success using the Wick zones. So I wanted to add to and expand on what we were doing with the range last week, because range is pretty much everything. Price has to move, so it ranges. It ranges from open to high, open to low, high to low, low to high. It moves. So, and that's how we take advantage. And so when price enters into a wick zone, it could enter into a daily wick zone or weekly or monthly. Price was going to have to range out of those wick zones. But no matter what method you're using, if you're losing, you have to look at one of three things. Either your risk and money management is off, the method just isn't working, or your execution and performance isn't up to par. And if you're winning, then of course you're having success. You get more confidence, you get more competent, and this is just, you repeat it and it cycles. And of course, you're not going to have any success or confidence if you lose more per trade than you're willing to lose per trade. Now, remember, boys and girls, fellow traders, these videos are for educational purposes only, and your results may differ from mine. And always keep in mind that trading, especially Forex trading, is very, very, very risky. So seek your advice from an accredited financial professional rather than some Yahoo talking on YouTube. Okay? Because that way, if you lose, you can rest assured your money was lost by a professional. And it should make you feel a little bit better about that loss, right? Okay, that's out of the way. I hope you guys have as much fun listening to that as I do saying it, because it's just, to me, it's just too funny. As you can see, not all gaps have filled. There's been some huge gaps. Now, the dollar yen, when I turned on the trading platform yesterday and I saw that huge gap, I didn't even have to do any analysis. It was jump in and take advantage. And what's really funny is it's only missed the gap fill by 3 points. That, not 3 pips, but 0.3 of a pip. So I mean, for all intents and purposes, it filled the gap. And as I mentioned before, it doesn't have to fill the gap for you to profit off of that movement. Just same as with the pivots. It doesn't have to hit the pivot so long as you get the direction right. So in fact, just to let you know, I had placed my targets at 108.00. And as you can see, price is at 108.03. So the target was met. Why did I do that? Why didn't I go for the, I see, what was the fill? It was like really at 0.08. Well, number one, I figured there was going to be some resistance around that round number. And so why be greedy? I mean, sitting on a, what, about a 50 some pip profit, being greedy, right? It's one of those things. I had other things to do, didn't want to watch the trade, so kind of like set and forget and come back and check it out. Okay, I'm going to skip over a lot of the charts and go right into the range and wick. Once again, we've got a daily range, a weekly range, and of course a monthly range, but I didn't put the monthly range indicator up here. But we might add to that at another point in time, just so we can have all three and look at them. Or I could do it on the dashboard. But you can see here, this is the first day of the week's range, okay? And right here, we have a ATR range. And as you can see, price actually went past the ATR zone right here, which that ATR zone is the open plus ATR 5, which was the min, and then ATR 14, which was the max. And you can see here that price actually exceeded that. Now, what's this mess? Okay. This is what I call daily, weekly, monthly. Each one has its wick zone. As you can see, HL5 is loaded 3 times. Now, before you try this, you're going to have to get the latest version of HL5, because when I first wrote it, I was thinking of wick zones and rat zones, and all those zones were based just on the daily. So that's how I had that period hard coded. So I had to change that into the period you select. So I'll upload the new HL5 or advanced, or not the modified HL5, the latest version, so you too can play along. So we've got some different shading here. You can see here's the monthly wick zone for the previous month, the lower, and here's the upper wick zone. Now right here, a lot of times the upper wick zone for the day and the upper wick zone for the week could actually be the same, because the previous, or the lower wick zone, because if price made the high of the week during the last day, that Friday, the last trading day of the week, if it made the high of the week that day, well, that daily wick zone is going to be also the weekly wick zone, okay, for the first day of the week. And since we're in the first trading day of the week, as you can see, we had that happen right here. Now here's the daily lower wick zone, but that's the upper wick zone for the week. Here's the lower wick zone for the week. Upper wick zone for the day, lower wick zone for the day. So you can see how these zones come into our trading. Okay. Now let's just flip around on a few different pairs here, and you can see now here with the euro yen, this is the upper wick zone for last month, and here's the upper wick zone for last week. But you can see also it's the upper wick zone for the day. The colors of they come on top, so they combine. That's the way it works in MQL4, MT4 code. Here is the lower weekly wick zone, lower monthly wick zone. Let's look at dollar Canadian. Okay, this looks kind of interesting. There's the monthly wick zone. But as you can see, the weekly wick zone is actually below the monthly wick zone. So the previous week was below the previous month. So if you you can see it probably better here. So right here, if you look at the monthly, you see it exceeded to the downside the previous month. Right there. So, and you can, if you come back to the daily, this might make it a little bit clearer. So what you need to realize is that price is going to hit these wick zones and range out of it. And so right here you can see the this is back to dollar yen, that it got in the previous month's wick zone and moved out of it. And if you can think about it, if you looked right here, You see it came down into the previous month's wick zone right here. And then on this day, here's the previous day's lower wick zone right here. And price went in, shot out, and the rest is history. So that's how it's the wick zone. But if you look at it on multiple time frames, you can see how, knowing that it has to range, it helps you pick a direction. Because if it comes in here, it's either going to have to come out here or come out here. It just has to because of the range. Unless the previous month was a really big range, and so that the current month would have an inside bar. The point is, even in that case, if it gets in the wick zone, unless the wick zone it exceeds, say, the average range of the month, which it usually doesn't, you can see why price has to range out of these zones. Now let's see. We were playing with the Euro AUD. Let's take a look at that one just for fun. Okay, here's last month's wick zone, and we were trading it last month. So price went into the upper wick zone and then came out of the monthly wick zone. And you can see that's over what, 300 pips? Or just about, okay, almost 300 pips. Right there, 300 pips out of that wick zone. And then this right here is the previous week's wick zone. No, I'm sorry. This is the previous month's wick zone, this color right here. Let me switch down to H4. We might be able to get a little bit. Okay, so here we've got the weekly high and the weekly top, and you can see how these zones are overlapping. So, of course, what you can do, if that's confusing, let's see, daily, weekly, we turn off, I believe this is the weekly. We can turn it off, set that to true. No, that was the daily. So we just turned off the daily. Then we can also turn off the weekly. No, I just turned off the monthly. I guess I have the order changed up here. So you can see here weekly in and out of that zone. Turn this one back on. Waiting for a tick. Okay, did I turn them all off? Okay, we'll turn them back on one at a time so you can see. Turned on the monthly. We turned on the daily. And we turned on the weekly. So that's it, fellow traders. We'll do this some more tomorrow. Just remember, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. If you have any questions, just ask. So go out there, have a profitable week of draining the banks.